Hello guys, my name is Rakesh Kumar Niga. I'm studying in the Harding College. Today I'm going to discuss about the educational approaches. There are 5 educational approaches in the ECE. The first one is Reggio Emilia. The second one is Waldorf approach. Number 3 is USA Magic. Number 4 is High Scope. And number 5 is Montessori approach. I am going to discuss all 5 these approaches one by one. So here we go. Now let's start. I'm going to discuss about the history of Reggio Emilia. This program was developed after World War II by a philosopher journalist Loris Malguzzi and parents in the need of new way of learning. The Reggio Emilia first originated in the town of Reggio Emilia in Italy out of a movement towards progressive and cooperative education. There are 6 principles of the Reggio Emilia, which is followed by the daycares of the Reggio Emilia. And first of all, the classroom environment play as the third teacher. If the environment is good, then the children learns very well. And parents are also part in education. Parents can give information about the child to the educator, and they can also participate in activities if there are some activities held in the daycare. Documentation is also a critical component of the communication. Children have their independence. Children can construct their own learning. They can play their own games. They can choose their games, choose their materials to use, and they can play with the games. Children are collaborators and learn through interaction with communities. They can learn from their friends, learn from their parents, learn from their teachers, learn from their social. Now I am going to discuss about what type of the environment of Reggio Emilia. The centers are generally filled with indoor plants and natural lights, so children can focus on their activities. Kitchens are open to view, and access to the surrounding community is assured through well-sized windows, courtyards, and doors to the outside in each classroom. Antiques capture the attention of both children and adults through the use of mirrors, photographs, and child's work. So children can use the mirrors to see their face on the mirror, so they can imagine themselves. They can use photographs so they can see how the people are looking like. There are ample space of supplies frequently rearranged to draw attention to the aesthetic features. The physical environment of the fundamental importance to the EC program and is often referred to as the child's third teacher. Now I am discussing about the emergent curriculum of Reggio Emilia. It is to provide educated outside time daily, and it's inspired light, curiosity, celebration, and inquiry in the classroom. And it's also inspire inquiry, celebration, curiosity in the classroom. And it also build long-term love of learning in child through motivation. Here we have 7 aspects of Reggio Emilia environments. First one is athletics. Number 2 is active learning. Number 3 is collaboration. Number 4 is transparency. Number 5 is bring the outdooring. Number 6 is flexibility, and number 7 and last one is reciprocity. The Reggio Emilia instructive methodology accepts that through its core values, kinds are better ready to take care of issues, draws in with their local and conditions. They have welcoming new encounter, fabricate social abilities, communicate, and certainly and appropriate learning. These are the benefits of Reggio Emilia. Now we will see what kind of the material is used by the daycares in Reggio Emilia. Teachers will typically provide authentic art materials such as watercolors, clay, chalk, and charcoal for children to experiment with in the classroom. They also offer all kinds of art instruments or vehicles for pigments, including brushes, cotton balls, sponges, Q-tips, quicks, sticks, and pine cones. Now we have the last one is educator role in the Rajomelia. So in the Rajomelia, the teacher is also a participator. He is not just only the instructor, he have to participate in the activities with children. The teachers are encouraged to facilitate the child's learning by planning activities. So teacher have to plan the activities for the child, and they have to give lessons based on the child's interest. So they have to play games as the child interest. They have to ask questions to further understanding and actively engaging the activities alongside the child instead of sitting back and observing the child learning. So teachers have to ask and understand what kind of child interest have, so they can play the games according to the child's interest. Here we have some more educators' role, such as child educator always observe the child. Educator always guides. Educator recognize the critical learning. Educator's program is based on the child's interest. We have all this information of Rajomelia in this video. So if you find Rajomelia is best for your child, so you have to go with Rajomelia's daycares. Hello guys, now we have the second approach is Waldorf approach. Now I am going to discuss about the Waldorf approach now. So we are discussing today their author, their principle, history, environment structure, and their ideal course. What are the benefits of the Waldorf approach? What kind of the material used in the Waldorf approach, and what are the educator role? So now we are starting. Here we go. The founder of Waldorf approach was Rudolf Joseph Lorenz Steiner, and he found this approach in 1905. He was the Austrian philosopher, and he was also a social reformer, and he was also an architecture. He was also founder of anthroposophy. Rudolf Steiner was a pioneer in alternative education. He created a movement that saw individuals as spirit beings rather than economic shapes for societies to mold. Now I am going to discuss about anthroposophy. What is anthroposophy? Is a path of knowledge or spiritual research developed on the basis of idealistic philosophies introduced by Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Here we have some principles of Waldorf approach. We have to give activities to the children. So children, we have to give more time to the child, so child can finish their own activities with their own time. Art is just important as science. In this approach, the Waldorf in Steiner said, let the children play. So with the play, children can explore the things and make their interest. Routines also give children a sense of security. If you give time to the child feels secure. Children always thrive in the nature. Here we have some benefits of Waldorf approach. As we know that in this era, the life is very fast. So in this approach, the children enjoy an unhurried childhood. In this approach, the children are learning as the age appropriate, and they are learning in hands-on activities. With these activities, they enrich their learning experiences and integrates the natural world. What kind of the materials used and environment structure of Waldorf approach? The first of all, the walls of the daycares as the lasered walls, like water paints colors on the walls. All the material is used of the wood, like desk and furniture. Classrooms are designed with deliberation and intentionally. They are using of colors, comforts, and space. All are key factors in creating an educational experience, which inspire curiosity and embraces free thinking. Waldorf also developed the child development theory. So now we are discussing about the child development theory of the Waldorf. Steiner's division of child development are categorized in three major stages, separated by 7 years intervals. The first one is physical, the second one is the imagination, and third one and the last one is spirit. Now we have the ideal structure, the ideal core of this, and the central idea of this approach. In this approach, the child learns through their own activities, their own plays, their own movements. With this, child is learning responsibility and self-regulation, as well as child can collaborate with their friends and they can share their feelings and ask help from their friends in their activities, which will motivate the self-esteem and the wholeness of the child. Here are some educator roles in the Waldorf approach. The educator have to communicate with the parents and their co-workers and the children. They have to keep clear communication with everyone. Educator can also collaborate with parents and teachers, and the teacher can also lead discussion, demonstration and other in the class activities with the parents and the staff. And the main role of the educator role is teach curriculum focused on developmentally appropriate education. Hi guys, we have the third approach is USA Magic. Now I'm going to discuss about this approach. The first is the history and the author. The first, it's launched in 2001 in Quebec. So USA Magic, it means playtime is magic, is first and foremost an educational program that is programmed as designed to meet the needs of daycare educators and to serve as the guidance tool to parents and young workers. The program, which emphasizes learning through play, is used in many daycare centers. There are three perspectives on the play. The first one is classical theory by the Herbert Spencer. The second one is modern theory by the John Dewey. And the third one is contemporary theory by Lev Vygotsky and Yuri Bronfenbrenner. We have the 5 principles of USA Magic. The chaque enfant est unique. It means every child is unique. The number 2 is the development. L'enfant est un process global and intégré. It means the development of the child is a process, global process and integrated. The number 3 is l'enfant est le premier agent de son développement. It means the children are the first agent of their development. And number 4 is l'enfant apprend par les jeux. It means the children learn through the play. And the last one, la collaboration entre le personnel éducateur et l'enfant, les parents est l'essentiel au développement harmonieux de l'enfant. It means the collaboration between the personal educators and the parents are essential to the development of the children. Now we have the educator roles. Educator always provide equality in the classroom. Educator always maintain the safety in the classroom, as well as he ensures the child's health. Educator always can make rules and regulations with the children. Educator have to always observation for the child's interest, abilities, and their strengths and further learning, so the educators can create activities according to the child's interest. The educator have to be a role model for the children rather than dictating or dominating. Now I'm going to discuss about the central idea of this approach. Play is an important part for every child's life, which develop the 5 spheres of growth of the child. Play is closely tied to cognitive, social, emotional, and motor development of the young children. Children can use their variety of activities independently or with the partner or in the group. Now I will discuss about the play. What is play? Play is the creativity in the process of play scenario. Role play and pretend play involve creativity, such as making props, finding objects, building blocks, using paints. Imagination is also part of the play. Creates images in their minds to do with their feelings, thoughts, and ideas. Here we have some characteristics of this approach. There will be no extrinsic goals. There is no prescribed learning that must occur. It can also be enjoyable and pleasurable, and it can also be voluntary and spontaneous. It involves active engagement on the part of the player. We have some benefits of this approach. Child can imagination, child can think about the feelings, thoughts, as well as child can create the things with such as with Play-Doh. Child can play role and make some things with the Play-Doh. With play, child can learn how to solve the problems, as well as they learn how to control the emotions. They can learn also physical development such as fine gross motor, hand-eye coordination. They can also work on their language acquisitions such as talking, learning new words, exchanging ideas, as well as they can increase their social skills such as sharing, taking turns, cooperating with others, how to flexible, make play games. Now the last one is what kind of the material used and environment structure of the classroom. It provides variety of materials and the child can explore the things with the materials. They can do activities such as blocks, colors, paints. There is also level of difficulties for discovery, so child can first easily do things and the second stage is little difficult, the third one is more difficult. It also provides age appropriate equipments and materials, and the environment is safe and ample space for the children, so children can do their activities and can play. This is all in USA Magic approach. Thank you. Hi guys, now we have the next approach is high scope approach. Now I will discuss all the information about the high scope approach in this video. First one is the history and author of high scope. It began in the early 1970s. The founder of this approach was David P. Weichart. It means active learning is the cornerstone of the high scope approach. Active learning means that child and adults are partners in the learning process. What are the fundamental high scope principles? In this approach, they have to do daily planning by the teacher staff according to the development based on the curriculum model and child observations. There is also active participation of the child in the choosing, organizing and evaluating learning process, which can be observed by the educators. The next principle is developmentally sequenced goals and materials for children based on high scope. The key experience, High Scope Education Research Foundation in 1989. Now, what kind of the environment in high scope daycares are? To make a predictable and active learning environment, the arrangement of the teachers and equipment of the classmen with the diversity. There are open-ended materials that reflects the child's home, culture and the language. The room is organized and labeled to promote independence and encourage children to carry out their intentions. What is the central idea of this approach then? The first one is learn through play. As we know that children learn through play, they do activities and they learn. They use language to describe their actions and intentions. High scope provides the learning environment which promotes active learning in the children. They use natural materials and real materials in the classrooms. Child can also ask and answer questions, solve problems, and interact with classmates and adults. Here we have some benefits of high scope daycares. Child can increase their confidence and they can promote independence to the children. They can create social relations. They can foster decision making. They can also do activities with children so they can learn problem solving techniques. The materials used by the high scope daycares within the classroom materials are consistently stored in the places that are easily accessible for children. Containers and shelves are labeled with pictures, drawings, words, or tracing of the object. Here we have some educator rules and what the educator have to do in the daycare. The first one is the educator have to focus on the child's strength. So educator have to see only the strength, not the weakness of the child. If we see the weakness of the child, then he have to focus on his weakness and make that strength. Educator have to avoid punishments and rewards, such as when the examples are increased or arises. So they have to avoid isolating the child and they have to motivate the child to share their feelings with adult and others. This technique will develop social skill and become more aware of the impact of their actions on others. Hi guys, we have the last approach is Montessori approach. In this approach I will discuss about their history, author, their principle, environment structure, and so on. Now let's start. The first founder of this approach was Maria Montessori. She was first Italian female physician. She was anthropologist as well as she was an educator. She was believing that early education should be guided by a scientific approach. She also worked with what were then called defective children, the children with development delays. Her first project was Casa dei Bambini, it means Children's House, 1907. She started this project. She took 2 to 12 years old children from a lower income families. According to the Maria Montessori, the teacher, child and environment create a learning triangle. She also thought that the classroom is prepared by the educator, which can provide independence, freedom with limits and sense of order. She preferred multi-aging group classes so children can learn from their elders and youngers. Here are some principles of Montessori approach. Movement and cognition. With movement, children learns lots of things with the activities. They can, such as movement of hands, movements of body parts. Physically, they can be strong. Variety of choice can also increase their strength and their interest. Never give rewards to the children of their success. The next one is children are always learning from their peers, as well as they are learning through the context and with the adult interactions. Here are some benefits of Montessori. It also encourages cooperation and creativity. It's also focused on the key development of the stages of the child. With all this, child naturally learns self-discipline. Here are some class materials used in the Montessori. The first one is movable alphabets. Number 2 is sound cylinders. Number 3 is puzzle maps. Number 4 is classification cards. Number 5 is beads. But kind of the environment of the Montessori approach. It should be beautiful. It should be structured in the orders. There should be freedom, so child can do any activities according to their interest. It should be natural or real. Here is the central idea of this approach. Montessori always teaches through hands-on individualized experience. Montessori always respect for others, our world and our environment. Montessori always teach independence, critical thinking and social grace. Here is the educator rule. The first one is an educator is always a guide, not a teacher. He always an observer. He always observes the child's interest. He always prepare the environment for the children and he makes sure it's safe for the children. In this approach, the educator is always a learner.
THANKYOU, thank you, thank you.